Marcus Robert Johnson here. Today I want to talk about a nasty negative thought I had. And it was based on my perception of how this person looked. Why am I wearing this hat, you may ask? You know why? You want the honest reason why? The truthful, honest reason why I'm wearing this hat? Because my hair looked ridiculous and I got out the gym and I want to make this video before I take a shower. Based on how I'm wearing this hat, I could be a witch. I could be a farmer. Or I could be a pimp. It's all up to you. It's all up to your interpretation, which is another reason why I wore this hat. Because, of course, everybody knows me, but this hat, if you don't know who I am, this hat can make you interpret and determine me to be whatever you, is this pointy? Whatever you interpret it to be. So, on to my true point. I had a nasty thought in my head. I think it's nasty. I'm driving down East Washington coming home. And you know, I don't know if they changed the law or if it's just that it isn't against the law, but you've been seeing more and more people panhandling on the streets. You know, they stand in the middle of the street. They got the cardboard paper with the little message or story or something funny. Got all their bags of stuff. And a lot of times when people are doing those things, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not in that world. But what I do know is that they kind of take turns. They operate. I don't know if all these people are homeless or travelers or what all the time. For the most part, I think most of them are just homeless and they're trying to work out a system that works for them at the moment. But they take turns. So a lot of times you see bags and stuff. Half of it might be there, some of it might not be. But a lot of times they'll take turns. If you look up the street, you'll see a group of them chilling. And they just kind of take turns standing in the street, collecting whatever they can get. And I seen this one old lady standing in the street today. And my thought was, like, this is what I thought without thinking. This is just, what I mean by that is I did this subconsciously, I guess. I didn't even realize, until I caught myself and I was like, what are you, stop, man. So, she's really old, really skinny looking, really old. And just really dirty looking, right? Unpleasant to the eye. Has her sign. I read some of it, but for the most part, I'm trying to keep my head down. Try not to look at her so she doesn't get a fancy idea to ask me for money or something. And a lot of times they're not going to knock on your window and ask you for money. But they stand there with their sign, and if someone rolls their window down and flags something. But I didn't even want to look at her. You know what I mean? Another human being. And I didn't even want to look at her. I didn't want to see her struggle. I didn't want to know what she was going through. I had a weird thought in my head. I was just I'm like, why is this even legal? Like, why can they do that? I'm like, why can you just stand in the street with your son? I'm like, that's start coming up with rationalizing it, come up with answers. Like, why is that even legal? Like, you're just distracting me when I'm driving. I'm like, stop it. And my point is, it's good that they're allowed to do that for several reasons. One reason, it gives them some place to be doing that. Because they can't come into businesses. You can't go onto a business's property and panhandle, ask for money. You can't do that. So a lot of people have no way of panhandling or earning money, and that they see it at the time. You can't go into businesses. You can't get a shower. You can't afford clean clothes. So you can't go into establishments. You can't ask for jobs. Stuff like that. But they have less places to go, so they're staying in the street doing a lot of these. And the thing is, it gives them a place where they can collect it. And if you want to, you can hand it to them. I just wanted her to go, though. I just wanted her to not be there. And I'm like, you know what? They're not really breaking a law. But here's the second, and maybe the biggest reason why I think it's good that they can panhandle on the street like that. That they can stand. I think it's good because The same reason I wanted to look away. I didn't want to be a part. I didn't want to see into her life. I didn't want to be a part of that. I didn't want to know anything, right? And we all do that, which is why the kids starving in Africa, you don't really care. You care when you see it in the moment, but you don't really care. Your heart hurts when you see somebody hungry, but you don't really care. And I think it's good because them being where they are is a constant reminder to everyone that they are there. These people exist. People with no means, people living on the street, people that can't afford a shower, they can't afford food for the day, they're not going to have somewhere to sleep. And if you're in California or Nevada or Texas, Florida, it's a little easier to be homeless there because they don't have, I don't want to move my camera to show y'all, but they don't have snow. It doesn't get cold there. It might get cold, it might get 30, 40 degrees, but it doesn't get drop dead. They're not going to go to sleep and die in the night. There was a young boxer I know, I'm going to just say I don't know his last name, but I used to see him box all the time. Donald, a lot of Wisconsin boxers remember him. Young man was, I could be completely wrong, but from what I heard, he's a good guy, great guy, good boxer. I haven't seen him box in a while, but this young man was homeless, from my understanding, for a time, and he fell asleep outside. And his feet got frostbite. So from here, he didn't have no toes. My man was boxing with no toes. When I first seen him box, I was like, he's got a special kind of shoes. This man had both feet, half of them boxing. Which is why boxing's awesome too. Gave him a venue. But my point is that this happens to people. It's very rough to be homeless. And it's easier for us as people to shoo them off if we don't have to see it. It's not a homelessness isn't a problem to people like Donald Trump because he doesn't see it. It's not a problem to people with money because they don't see it. They live in very good neighborhoods, private neighborhoods, right? So I think it's good that they can panhandle on the streets because it's a constant reminder to everyone else the struggle that people have every day. And I also think over time, you're going to see people's ideas change. I think right now it's new to a lot of us in Wisconsin here for it to be allowed and whatnot. It's a lot of new to see. In Chicago and places, they're used to that. It's common. It's common. But I think the more we see it, now people are annoyed. But I think over time, months, years, they're going to get help. People are going to, instead of getting sickened or where were they or feeling disgust or like you're better, I think eventually we'll be able to help those folks. I know it's hard to take me serious in this hat, but I am serious. And that's what it is, man. There's a lot of people that need help. And my friend D-Ron always told me, out of sight, out of mind. And that's very true. If you're not around something, if you're not doing something, if you don't have to see it and hear it and be around it, you can live your life as though it never existed, as it doesn't happen. Which is why a lot of people can't relate to the police brutality. Which is why a lot of people can't relate to white privilege. That's why a lot of people can't relate to just not having enough. It's really easy to say you got to work for all those things, and you do have to work for anything you want in life. Absolutely, without a doubt. You're not getting nothing, bro, or sis, if you don't work. But some of us don't have the option to just work. Like I said, these people are on another level of homelessness because you don't think they want a job? If you gave them a job, I guarantee you they would take it. But they're still homeless with this job. They have to come to work smelling good, being presentable. If you don't have a home where you can sleep and rest, and you can wash up in the morning and at night, if you can't brush your teeth every day, you're not presentable. And no one's going to hire you, no matter what your situation is. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are or what, bro. You're going to have to get extremely lucky. I got extremely lucky when I was young and I was acting out, wilding out, and my boss hired me. You don't have to hire me. It takes a good person sometimes, or you have to change yourself, or both. So don't forget them. You see these people, I'm not going to tell you not to or to give them money or not. I don't like giving people money. I don't like giving family money. I like giving people means. If I have the money, if you tell me can you borrow $30 for groceries, instead of doing that, I'd rather take you to get groceries and let's spend 50 or 60 if I can do that, right? I've done that for my family sometimes because I don't want to give them money because I don't know what they're going to spend it on. Maybe they didn't even want groceries, but now you got them. Worst come to worst. Just in general, just things, right? Money might not be the best. Money is good for a very responsible person, but at our core, it's very hard for people to separate what they want at the moment and what they need over a span of time. So a lot of the times, even if you give them money, it goes to what they want at the moment, which is why people say they're just going to drink it or something. Maybe they won't drink it, but maybe they'll make it last 4 or 5 days eating McDonald's. Maybe they're just, instead of, they can't invest it, they can't save it. That's another thing. Poor people cannot save money because bills are constant. And if you don't pay them, it's your credit. If you don't pay them, it's your ass. If you don't pay them, it's jail. Whatever. If you got tickets or something. If you can't pay them, you're evicted. If you can't pay them, you don't have a phone. If you can't pay them, you don't have clothes. Whatever. So being in debt is tough. Having bills is tough. I make just enough money to be broke and have a little bit more, because I'm in a relationship and she has my back, and that's all it is. Having a teamwork, having a team. So don't dismiss these people so easy like I did. It's really easy in the moment, but take a deep breath and think deep, man, before you pass judgment on their character. They might be great people. Maybe when they were young, all their family died. Maybe the one person in their family died. Maybe their mom died and they had nobody else to help them and tell them the right things to do in life or where to go or how to handle situations. You never know. You never know. So I'll end this video on just look out for each person as if they were your brother or sister, as if they were your mom or dad, as if they were your son or daughter, as if they were your friend, as if you know them, as if you're going to lose sleep because they can't sleep. As if you're going to lose sleep because they didn't get to eat tonight. And I'm not saying you have to give them money, but somebody, maybe it's me if I can think of something. People as a whole have to find a system so that when people fall into the deepest cracks of the floorboards, they can at least find a way to climb out and get a bit of scraps on the floor. And then maybe they can reach the counter. Before you know it, they're opening the fridge. Now you gotta go in the ice bar, whatever. I'm just saying, there has to be a way for people that have no means, no money, no way of doing something, and for them to do it. And for them to do it easily. Not to be at a shelter at a certain time, and the shelter only takes a certain amount of people, and it doesn't take men, or it doesn't take kids or something. There has to be a better way to help people. I know there is. There has to be. I refuse to believe there's not. So until the day comes when we find that way, peace and love to you. I'm going to keep searching. I'm going to do my part. Marcus Robert Johnson here. If you want to hear more of my messages, more things, more of my ideas, if you're enjoying my content, if my message is valuable to you and you think it's the right thing, share it. Spread it around. Let people know. Because I think it's something that we can all change. I'm Marcus Robert Johnson, boxing, on Facebook. I'm DatBoyTweak428 on YouTube. I'm MRJ Boxing on Twitter. And I'm Marcus Robert Johnson in everyday life. This has been me. Now I want to see you.